What's up, guys? It's Rick from Rick's Rock School. Welcome back to Dog Coffee and Guitars, episode 10. We are solving the modes mystery. Last week, we learned about what modes are. If you didn't see it, I'll post the link. Make sure you go back and watch. A lot of good information there. We learned about Ionian, Dorian, and Phrygian modes. Today, we are tackling Lydian and Mixolydian, and it is a partly cloudy day here in Philadelphia, and that's okay, because if I had to boil down a mood for Lydian mode, it would be partly cloudy. I mean, it's a happy mode with that like touch of dissonance up. There's clouds in the sky, as you heard. I mean, the Simpsons theme song. Think about the Simpsons theme song. Clouds in the sky the minute the Simpsons start up. So, by the way, I must be getting old because there's going to be some kids watching this that have no idea what I was playing in the beginning of the episode. And if you are, in your late 20s or any older than that, you're going to go, oh, no. Anyways, guys, quick shout out once again to Go Puff. I ran out of my beloved Wawa Dark Roast this morning. And if you don't know what Go Puff is, they are a company here in Philadelphia. Now they're in other major cities as well that will deliver you anything that you want. I mean, anything that you want at any time, 24 hours a day. And this morning I had no coffee, didn't feel like going to the store, and I hit up the Go Puff app, and they come by and bring me some coffee. Now, they don't deliver Wawa on Go Puff, but they had La Colombe. I've never tried La Colombe. I have a cup of the La Colombe Dark Roast here, and my official review is in. Super official coffee review, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. It still has a way to go before it catches the 11. The 11 that the Wawa Dark Roast has. 11 is the highest score we give here on Dog Coffee and Guitars. And stick around to the end of the episode because I'm going to do a dog toy review. Slug is coming back. We're going to do a dog toy review, so stick around. So, guys, Lydian mode is when we play the 4 chord, the 4th chord of any key. I'm going to bring a graphic up here. As you can see, in the key of G, we have G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. So that's the key of G. If we were to start on the 4th note, you would get C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, then we'd be back to C. That's Lydian mode. So stick around and give you some playing examples of Lydian mode. All right, guys. So like I was saying, literally anything that you play over the 4 chord in any key is going to be Lydian mode. So you don't have to necessarily be playing the Lydian mode shape. And that's a big misconception. Most people think like if you're going to play Lydian mode, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of people come to me and go, okay, you have to be playing the Lydian mode shape in order to actually be in Lydian mode. And to be honest, that's not the case. As you saw in the intro, literally I was all over the fretboard and it all sounded the same. It had this mood of Lydian mode, that partly cloudy kind of mood, that spacey Lydian mode sound. So you don't have to be in any specific place on the guitar to be in that mode, but I'm going to show you the Lydian mode shape, and then we'll go from there. So your Lydian mode shape, if you're just learning this purely for trying to connect the dots on your fretboard, if we started on a C and played our way through the key of G, it would go like this. See, that F sharp into a C scale makes that Lydian. So we've got C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. That's an octave of it. If you kept going D, E, F sharp, and then hold on, check it out when I get to G. There's the resolution. So even though we started on C, we are still in the key of G. But as I said, you could play E minor pentatonic over a C major 7 chord, you're going to get Lydian mode. So the Simpsons theme song, arguably the most famous piece of Lydian music, goes like this. And that's a C major 6 arpeggio. What's a C major 6? Well, the 6 from a C, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. A would be 6. That's when we throw an A note into our C scale. C arpeggio, rather. So it's going to be C, E, A, G. So we've got 15th fret A, 14th fret D, 14th fret G to the 12th fret. Let's go back to 14D, 15A. So to another A note, 12th fret A, and then F sharp and B are the two most important notes to add to this to make sure we really sound like we're playing in Lydian mode. So when you're soloing, here's an exercise. Find a Lydian backing track on YouTube. Look for, just type in C Lydian backing track. Shout out to Quist. Quist, Q-U-I-S-T, makes some great Lydian backing tracks, Dorian backing tracks, like any mode, any key, he's got you covered. So check out Quist and just type in C Lydian backing track. And what I want you to do is stop trying to play in the shapes and play on one string. Some of the things that I was doing in that intro is I was playing just on the G string and I was going, you know, tried to make melodies on one string and learn them that way, and then repeat this process on all 6 strings. And then you've got 7 modes. Do that process, all 6 strings, all 7 modes. You get 42 different practice. I think I could still do multiplication. Look at that. 42 different practice routines here, and it forces you to play melodically and not be stuck in boxes anymore. So there's your exercise. Only just limit yourself to one string. Do it for all 6 strings against one mode, and then repeat that process for the other modes. I think it'll do you a lot of good. It did me a lot of good. So that's C Lydian, and like I said, I mean, anything that you play in that key over a C chord is going to have that same mood. So let's look at some songs in another key. How about the key of C? In the key of C, our 4 is going to be F. So we would be in F Lydian, some songs in F Lydian. How about Imagine by John Lennon? I think Partly Cloudy is a great way to describe the mood of that song, Lydian mode, when it hangs on that F chord in that. Another one, something more modern, Post Malone. Somebody on the internet, you know, commented on one of my videos. They said, "Ha, it's pre-Malone." All right, well, I guess I'll own up to it. I might look like the guy a little bit, minus the, you know, the face tattoos. Wow, but check this out. Major 7 to C major 7. That's also got, so that song is called Stay by Post Malone, something a little more modern. Your F major 7, one of the voicings for an F major 7, 3rd fret of the D string, 5th fret G, B, and E with one finger. And then he's going to go C major 7, great chord over a G, chord inversion. So we have a G note in the bass, 3rd fret E, pinky, 3rd fret A, middle finger, 2nd fret D, and everything else is open. So and that's got that happy, very spacey, you know, just a little bit of dissonant sound going on. So we got John Lennon, Post Malone, and the Simpsons theme song, Lydian mode. Like I said, just have fun with it. Put on a backing track and discover this great sound. If you like Joe Satriani, a lot of Satriani stuff's in Lydian mode. So there's Lydian. I'll be right back. Let me go grab another Les Paul and we'll talk about Mixolydian mode. All right, guys, now we come to Mixolydian mode, and perhaps the most famous piece of Mixolydian music in the history of rock would be Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses from the epic Appetite for Destruction, their debut album. Now, I want to mention we are a half step down, I've tuned the half step down just like they do on Appetite for Destruction, but I'm going to speak as if we're still in the key of G to keep things less confusing. It's going to look like key of G, but make sure we tune a half step down. So Mixolydian is when we play over the 5 chord, and the 5 chord in the key of G is D. So when we play the key of G, if we solo using notes of the key of G over a D chord, we sound Mixolydian, and that is what we get in this iconic intro to Sweet Child O' Mine. It's going to go like this. 12th fret D string, 15 B, 14 G, 12 G. So it's right off the bat a string skip. And Slash wrote this initially as a string skip exercise. It was never supposed to be the intro to a song, but of course, Axl was like, "Yeah, man, we keep playing that." And then they wrote the song, and you know, sometimes things happen that way. But Slash wasn't too happy because he struggled to play this from time to time, especially after a little bit Jack Daniels was involved. And there are some cool, funny videos on the internet of him struggling to play this live. But anyways, if you mess up a couple times, don't worry, Slash does too. It is a string skipping exercise if I've ever seen one. 12D, 15B, 14G, and 12G. Now we're going to do another string skip, 15E. So it's now middle finger is going to grab 14G, and then flatten that middle finger, get 14E, and then back to 14G. So we've got. That's how you play it. They're going to repeat that twice, and it will continue to stay the same, except the starting note will be different. So on the third time, when they go to the C chord, you're going to grab the 14th fret of the D string and then play the same thing. 14D, 15B, 14G, 12G, 15E, 14G, 14E, and back to 14G. So it'll go like this. Now the starting note is going to be the 12th fret of the G. And you know, you play that a couple times around, and then at the end it's going to go. For this, keep your middle finger on the 14th fret of the G the whole time. Now we're going to go. This is a pedal tone lick. This 14th fret of the G string is going to be played in between every other note here. So it's 12E to the 14. Let's keep playing that 14 in between. 12E, 15B, back to 12E, 14E, 15 with the pinky E, 14, 12, and then 15B. So that's C, G the whole time, and the chorus, and this, that, and the other thing. Now that iconic solo, intro solo, is going to go like this. For that, it's just like it's a G major scale, but again, over D, we get this Mixolydian sound. So over the D chord, we're going to play 14G, 12, and 11. So it's, repeat that twice, and then play almost the same lick. Instead of playing the 11th fret of the G at the end, we'll go 14D. Then he plays 14 to 12. Now we're going to bend. So you're going to bend and release, and back to the 12, bend up again, and then grab 15B with your pinky finger. That's great harmony there. We're going to bend 15B up, release, and then end on the 11th fret of the G. Back to B, C, G. So there it is. Sweet Child O' Mine. If you want to learn the big solo at the end, we're going to have to talk about Aeolian mode. And if you want to talk about Aeolian mode, you're going to have to tune in next time to Dog Coffee and Guitar. We will break down the last two modes. And look, if you don't play guitar, you've been watching all this time just to see Slug. We'll give you what you want. Stay tuned. Hold on. All right, guys, dog toy review. We know from episode 2 that the Chuck It toy is a piece of trash. It didn't last a week. That gets 1 out of 10 on our Dog Coffee guitar score. We know the elk antler the next episode. The elk antler slug still hasn't been able to chew through that thing. So if you have a pit bull at home, elk antler, I give it an 11. That thing's indestructible. Another toy here, he's actually been at this for 2 years now. You might not know it by looking at him. He looks all cute and cuddly, but Slug is a tenacious chewer, like a lot of pit bulls. He, not gonna hurt anybody, but he loves chewing on things. So he needs a toy that's gonna stand up to that kind of onslaught. And right here, I'm holding the Kong toy. You can get it on Chewy.com, PetSmart, whatever. The Kong red ball. And I mean, you can see it's mangled up, but this is 2 years worth of damage. He tries to break this thing every single day for the last 2 years. And because of that, the Kong ball is Slug approved. It's Pitbull approved. It is Dog Coffee and Guitars approved. So we're going to give this thing an 11. Release the dog. Oh yeah, look what we got. Wow. I'll see you next time on Dog Coffee Guitars. And don't forget, Slug and I wanted to remind you, we're giving out free lessons for animal shelter donations. Donate to your local shelter, get a free lesson with me over Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, whatever you want. Adopt an animal. It's going to be a month of free lessons. So a month of free lessons if you adopt a dog or a cat. We'll see you next time on Dog Coffee Guitar. Later on, guys.